Alright, today I actually made the month and the year repeating things work the way they should. So, I have, first let me set the date. I can set it to the 17th of the month, set it to repeat, and it will always set to the 17th. If I set it, and for the year, no, sorry, if I set it to like the 29th of the month, and I am in January, notice how it goes to the 28th of February. And this will stay the case until the leap year, in which case there is actually going to be a 29th of February. If I set it to something like 31st, and it also applies to all other months. Yep. Alright. And I did something similar with the year. Well, here, let me just show you. So if I get the year, and I set it to 01/28. I would get other, well, let me see if it works. Okay, well, hang on, let me write that down. Standard time, that'd be get the month and or get the year to have or to accept both formats. Alright. Yeah. If I do 01/28, it will set it to the 28th of January every time. If I set it to 02/29 and set it to today, it will set it to 28th of February. And notice how the next time sets it to the 29th because that is a leap year. I guess I got rid of that one. Whatever. Yeah, this took about all day, even though it's very short. The leap year part took especially long. And here I will show you how it works. So, let me also show you all the stuff I did yesterday, because I kind of need to. Or, not yesterday, last time I recorded. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay, so, first, I have the void for repeating task. This means that, or this is whenever a task is completed or failed, as indicated by here, whenever a task is toggled, checks if it is not deleted, it will then repeat task. Excuse me. So, if date repeat to, or if data repeat to, which would be the I think that'd be the weekdays, right? No, that'd be, no, yeah, that would be the day. If that's not 0, then it would, which would be it being on in this case, due to the fact that when I select or when I put anything in one of these, it automatically deletes all the other information in those. So if day of the week to repeat to, or if day to repeat to not equals 0, set day to my date format, which is the date time version of this right here, which is the date that the task is assigned to. And then it adds this, and then adds the days to repeat it to. So if it's like every 2 days, and then I complete it, it will set it to be 2 days from then. Well, it will appear again. For the day of the week, if the day of the week to repeat to is not equal to 0, then I will, or then float day add to equal settings controller. The current this weekend. Hey, what am I using this for? What the? Okay, well that's, I guess, just, I don't know why I'm using this weekend, but whatever. If, yeah, what the heck? Oh. Oh, so it starts it off as this weekend, I think? Honestly, I forget. This was a few days ago. Anyways, it checks every day, and then it has the variable. The variable then equals the day of the week you want it to repeat to, and then it first subtracts the amount for that day. So if it was a Sunday, you would subtract 1. If it was like a Saturday, you would subtract 7. And then you add 7 to make it into next week. Yeah. And then you simply do the same thing as above right here, but with day add to instead. Now for the day of the month. If day of the month to repeat to is not equal to 0, first you get the day, which you get from parsing, or from int.parsing, which is turning a string into an integer. The myDate format dot toString of a specific format, in this case month, day, year. And then you get the substring of that, you get the substring of this, the substring being this part right here, which is why we needed to convert it, to a string first. Also because I don't know how to convert a date time directly into an integer. Then we have day, so this one is day underscore, this one is day double underscore, because it's continuing on, I guess, I don't know. Day of the month to repeat to minus day underscore. Day of the month to repeat to being this one right here. And then you subtract the day from that. This gives you how many days are between the day of the month you want to repeat to and the current day. Then we have days in the month. This is for which we get from datetime.date, or datetime.days in month, myDate format dot add 1 month dot year, my date, date format, dot add 1 month, what month. If the day is, or if the day it is trying to set to is greater than the days in the month, set it to the last day of the month instead. So, yeah, if day underscore plus day double underscore is greater than days in the month, which I, looking at this now is just kind of, this is just kind of day of the month to repeat to, but I guess it's a better way of visualizing it for me. I don't know. If, yeah, greater than days in the month, debug.log, which prints a message to the console to say it was too big. Then set day double underscore to be, which is this one right here, which is the final output, or yeah, final output ish kind of, to being days in the month minus day, or to being the amount of days in the month minus the day instead of the day you are trying to set it to minus a day. So if it was like there were 31, or sorry, if there was like 28 days in the month and you were trying to set the day to the 31st of that month, well, you can't exactly do that, so it sets it to, or so then I set it to the 28th, or 28th. I set it so that the objective is the 28th. The objective minus the current position. And then you add the day underscore plus the amount of days in the month so that you get it over a month. The reason I am doing this instead of dot add days, the days, and then dot add month, is because I would run into issues where I was setting the month to be the next month, and then I was taking away the days. Like if I set it to February and my goal, or no, I think it was February and my current day was the 31st, it would set it first to February and then subtract 3 to supposedly get it down to 28, but in reality it got it down to 25. So this is why I'm doing that. Alright, now on to day of the year to repeat to. So first I have a temp string. All this stuff up here is so I can accept both formats, but I don't really have that working at the moment, but oh well, this is already taking all day anyways, so here's how it would work. So first you get the current, so first you get the state of the darn, it's the state of the, oh right, it's the state of the settings controller date type, which is this little thing right here. What that does is, depending on its state, it changes it from a month, day, year layout to a day, month, year layout. Am I being too loud? Alright. Alright. It changes it from a month. Yep, sorry. Okay. Alright. I know. I'm recording a video. Good night. That was my sister, if you heard her. Okay. So, first, we get the temp string 1, and we use that to break up the first chunk of like this. Temp string 1 would be this part, and then temp string 2 is the second part. Then we combine them together and add another slash, and add a slash in the middle, so that the computer interprets the date as a date format and not just a single long number. And yeah, here we have an exception for if the date is, or for if it is February 29th and it is not a leap year, set February 29th to February 28th. And then we have the same thing here, but kind of jumbled around a little bit. Well, no, this is the only part that's jumbled around. And then so is this. Next we have date, time, day to repeat to year, which is this. Datetime.parse, it equals datetime.parse, which is converting a string, into a datetime this time instead of an int or integer. So we convert temp3 plus a slash plus the current year. This stuff has to be here because otherwise leap years will not function correctly. As in, it'll hit a brick wall by trying to set it to the 29th. Or so, I don't really know how it works. It just doesn't move past it if this part isn't here. And then, well, this part was what took me all day. It didn't work. I was overcomplicating it because only like half an hour ago did I realize, wait, I could just actually just set it to the goal. I don't really have to worry about going from one point to another. I can just set it to the goal. Because I've got like a whole date here. So that is what I did. And then down here, if the task is completed, it toggles the completion on, or well, it toggles the completion again, which means that it'll turn it back to off. Here, let me show you what this is. It's yeah, I didn't want to copy and paste all that. It's yeah. And if it is failed, toggle it, or toggle the failure again. Yeah, that is how that works. I guess I should also try to show you the button logic. Yeah, sure, why not? First up is this part right here. And these buttons also. Okay, when you enable this menu, oh my god, why was that all the way over there? Okay, when you enable this menu, like, why didn't I just like change the size? Oh, whatever. When you enable this menu, first get the current year and the current month, and then, oh come on, where is it? Update month year. And then do these two things in order. Update month year text, which is, I believe, this one. Ah, yes. Okay, so yeah, this number right here isn't the current day, it is the number for the month. If the month is number 1, set it to January, February, March, April, yada yada yada, and then oh wait, no, this is a variable. So if it is, and also if it is below 0 or greater than or less than less than or equal to, I mean 0 or greater than or equal to 13, which are things that shouldn't be possible, but whatever. Well, no, okay, never mind. If you, this is a rollover function. Look, when you go too high or too low, it goes back to the previous year or to the next year. See? And then here is the part that changes the text. So we have first the year right here, plus a line break, plus the month, which is this, or which is this number, plus that symbol, plus month name. I chose that symbol because I thought it would be aesthetically pleasing and look kind of like a real calendar. Okay, next we have toggle optional days. Which is right here. This is the part that makes it so the calendar adapts to come on, just click on it. Click on it. Why is it not? I know I made these buttons annoyingly small, but come on. Okay, let me turn it off and on again. Still recording? Yes, I'm still recording. This is a long video. It's going to be a long video. Too many audio samples. Ugh. It's what allows it to adapt like that. So, like, well, actually, no, the optional days is. Oh, wait, no, toggle blanks is a different thing. Oh, wait, never mind, no, it isn't. Alright. So it allows you to have the day always start in where it in. So it allows me to not have to rearrange these letters at the top row every time. And instead rearrange the whole calendar. And also enable days like these. Let me show you how it works. So we have this cascade, is that what the term is? I don't know. So, okay, whatever. First we get the year and the month, which I think are just the year and the month variable of the task. Or, variable of whatever. But no, it's... Oh dear, did I break something? Okay, well, it's this and this. At the beginning, it is the current year and current month. But the buttons allow you to change that. I wrote little letters on it. If you can't see, this is supposed to be a Y, and that's supposed to be an M. But the resolution is horrible, I guess. Frick me. Okay, date time. Okay, so if there are over 29 days in the month, enable the 29th button. If there are over 30, enable the 30th. If there are over 31, enable the 31st. Otherwise, set the 31st false. Otherwise, set the 30th and 31st false. Otherwise, set the 29th, 30th, and 31st false. this part is here, so you don't get things like somehow having 29 days, but not having, but the calendar has 31 buttons because it didn't update. Alright, date time day 1. Okay, what is this? This is the part that controls how many blanks are at the beginning. That is what allows it so the calendar can move. There are actually several invisible buttons here, just waiting. Oh, look at that. It's the second now. Yeah, several invisible buttons that can get enabled whenever they are needed to. Oh, right, there it is. So, works on the same system. If it is a Sunday, you don't need to enable any, or if the first day of the week, or if the day of the week of the first day, the month is a Sunday, or enable none of them. If the Monday, enable the first one, Tuesday, second, or first and second, and so on and so forth. And this is to turn them all off, or to turn them all off for each game object that has, oh, wait no. So when it turns them on, right here, it adds them to a list. For each object in the list, turn it, or set its state to 2, which will then, states of true get set to on, and then they get their state set to 1, so that they can be disabled shortly after. States of 1 are set to false, and states of 0 are always false. Or, I don't know. I probably overcomplicated that. Maybe I didn't. I have no idea. And then it clears the list. So, the thing to get it to glow for the thing that sets all the thing that sets the current day to light up is this. For each button, if the button is not null, which I am checking for that because I have things like that so that I don't have to futz around with subtracting or adding an additional 1 here or there just to get to the right button. I can just pick the actual number. If the day is not null, set it to white. This clears the slate at the very beginning. Then get a string of the date for today. Then turn the string into an integer to check the year. Then do the same for the month. And finally, color the one that is, and then color the one that would represent today, being like the second, to be red. If these were not here, every second day would be, if this one wasn't here, every second day in every month would be red. If this one wasn't here, that would apply to all years as well. Alright, I have a set day with text. This allows me to set the day like so. Go to, no, it'd be 29, it'd be 10, 11, 2026. Is that how that works? I have honestly forgotten because I haven't really used that one specifically very often. Let's take a look. It doesn't seem it worked. That's... How does that even happen? No, seriously, like, how does that happen? Why did it do that? Why did it do that, man? Okay, set my date to the... Wait a second. Oh, well that would do it. One moment, please. As I was saying, it allows you to set the date like so. Ta-da! Let me try something. One day. Is that gonna... I forget if that affects the actual date. That seems to not affect the actual date. Get the date manual text input to affect the actual date. And not just the string. Okay, moving on. What? Okay. These all just reference a function in the task. Set next week works like the week-based thing we saw before. Same with set this weekend and set later this week. And then these are all the voids I use for the buttons. Because the buttons have to reference a public void. Let me demonstrate. See? Yeah, that is everything, I think. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed me finally giving an explanation. I hope this video wasn't too long. Oh geez, that is 33 minutes. I guess it is too long. It's gonna take forever to upload. Well, I really hope you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed solving these problems. Some parts it was not very fun, but I wish I would have done more, or could have. Anyways, I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.